Hey, I am JB Clark from the Bruce Springsteen Sings the Alphabet podcast. And I just want to say, Jesse, congrats on the 6-year anniversary. It has been a blast. And I feel like it has been more than 6 years. So that's super exciting. And I'm pumped. So keep going. 6 more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Set Listing Bruce, your podcast all about Bruce Springsteen, his music, and mostly his fans. I am your host, Jesse Jackson, and for this special thon episode, we are talking music, sweet music, music everywhere. My good friend, Levi Petree, who has been on the show before, who is a talented musician, has agreed to join me and share a few songs. Levi, thank you so much for being here.
I am so excited to be here. I am grateful that you asked me. And I as I was just telling you, I'm actually recording some of these songs tomorrow. So it actually helps me being able to practice them a little bit more. So I'm going to give it my all and try to hone it in.
Good. Well, before we get to the music, in case someone has not listened to your episode, first off, go back to Set Listing Bruce and listen to Levi. Tell us a little about yourself.
I'm an actor and a musician I grew up in South Louisiana, kind of Southwest Louisiana. You and I have some shared geographical history. But I guess I would primarily call Lafayette, Louisiana, my hometown. And I've lived in Los Angeles for like the last 12, 13 years, primarily an actor, but I also started playing music. I was always obsessed with music, wanted to be a musician, finally learned how to play my guitar and started writing songs and put a band together, probably about 7 or 8 years ago now, maybe more. Time just seems to be flying and going nowhere all at once. But yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, we did not know that. I grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Lafayette is 75 miles east of it. So it was kind of twin cities. Lafayette had the good mall from Lake Charles or something, so we laughed. All right. So what do you got for us?
So I'm going to do a few songs from that I'm recording tomorrow. As I said, that's part of this kind of more singer-songwriter, at least acoustic type project that I'm calling Sunday Morning Donut Run. It's just all about the songs that I like to hear when I'm driving around on a weekend morning, either driving through the canyons here in California, or as the song says, out on a Sunday morning donut run. Because usually I have like a rock and roll band. So this is something that I'm trying now to just put them all in their respective lanes. And so I'll start off with a song called I Told the River that my wife actually came up with the title first time we went to Yosemite. But let's go. I told the river and the river told the world.
I told the forest that I had a little crush. Forest promised me, keep it to a hush. Got the same promise when I blabbed it to a squirrel. Next I told the river told the world. I told the river that you were my girl. Next thing I knew, it traveled around the world. Got back to me that you had now heard. I told the river and the river told the world. Little birdie beat me to the mountaintop. Said he was sorry, but he might have eavesdropped. rented a plane, tried to ride it in the air. Pilot told me clouds tend to overshare. Went door to door where I tried to spread my truth. Said not to bother, cause they already knew. Tried to keep it secret, but it seems to got away. Trying to keep it secret was my first mistake. I told the river that you were my girl. Next thing I knew, they travel around the world. Got back to me that you had now heard. I told the river and the river told the world. I told the river and the river told the world. Hey, word got around, you were feeling it too, but you were waiting till I told it to you. You didn't heed the lesson I learned. You told the river and the river told the world. I told the river that you were my girl. Next thing I knew, you travel around the world. Got back to me that you had now heard. I told the river and the river told the world. I told the river and the river told the world. I told the river and the river told the world.
Very nice.
Thanks.
I like that one. That's a really good way to start. I love the offbeat and kind of, it's a very fun love song. I like that a lot.
Thanks. Thank you very much. As you can see, I'm still got to get the kinks out before we go in there.
Yes.
We're gonna try to do everything live tomorrow. But yeah, that's like I said, one I wrote a few years ago that my wife inspired the title, and so I always kind of tease her and give her a co-writing credit for that. But yeah, just it, as I'm sure. A lot of my songs, I feel like it reminds me of Bruce Springsteen in some way. Like there's some inspiration somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
when you write, do you write the words first? When you write, do you write the words first? Do you write the melody first? It comes at the same time?
I feel like the better ones are when you write all the words first and you're just very inspired to get something out. And as you're writing it, a melody kind of forms in your head. So that was one that I think I wrote the entire thing out, and next thing you know, you had a song.
Good. I love it. It sounds great. That's wonderful. All right, what else you got for us?
All right, this next one is a very autobiographical song that I was inspired to write at the very beginning of the pandemic. I was just looking for something to watch. And on Netflix, there was a Garth Brooks documentary. So I watched that, and it brought back all these memories of riding around in my dad's car with my sisters, like when we were kids, listening to some of those early 90s, but like specifically 90s country and those two Garth Brooks albums, like No Fences with Friends in Low Places, things like that.
Yeah.
And so I just started kind of writing something out about how, even though I love rock and roll music and I want to hear loud guitars and punk rock and roll, Springsteen, The Clash, there is just something that I have always loved and been pulled to from the area that we grew up with that just kind of relates to country music and some of that old folk music. But when I was a kid, I loved 90s country, Alan Jackson, Tracy Lawrence. I don't know why all the names are escaping me right now, but Alabama.
Yeah.
So this was a song that I think everything in here has actually happened. It's 100% true. Conversations and feelings. And it's just sometimes it's about feeling out of place, I guess. Still trying to find my place, even though I haven't made it yet per se. I'm just gonna keep going because I've still got that drive in me. So it's holding on to the country, knowing who I am, where I come from, and also I still got something to prove and something to do. So
all right, what's the name of this one?
It's called Country at Heart.
I like it. Okay.
Don't need the cowboy boots, my feet hurt, my foot's too flat. Cowboy hats always looked a little off. Never drove a tractor truck or a combine in the rice fields of Elton, though that's the way my mama grew up. Still I love those 3-chord songs. A 1-4-5, let's get it on. Summers that were told by Garth, a 6-disc changer in Daddy's car, no fences on repeat till we were home. And though I never quite fit in, when I'd see how many of them sport Wranglers in their trucks, when I rode in Daddy's car, still I knew I was country at heart. Nashville sound or Austin bound, my tennis shoes just wander round some LA town that's never felt like home. Cleo told me long ago the greatest country bands play rock and roll, a lesson now at least a decade old. And on these days where I don't fit in, when I feel like I'm roping the wind, I might not live in the right town or have the right look, but I know I'm worth someone's buck. For the days where it's most tempting to cash what's left and throw the towel in. Come down from the stars, save the stadiums for bars. I'm still a kid who's country at heart. Daddy said the cream rises to the top. Though I might slow down, I know I'll never stop. 'Cause on those days where I don't fit in, I'll get up and I'll do it again. There might be someone in the crowd who needs to hear it loud, some truth. Well, I might be singing on the chance I get it right. Find myself beneath the big stage lights. You can tell the small town bars, folks singing in their cars. I'm still the kid who's country at heart. Yes, rock and roll saved my soul, and I may not look the part. Still I'm a kid who's country at heart.
Wow. Very nice. That one's pretty special. Yeah,
Oh, man.
I like that one a lot. And there is so much truth, right? That there may be someone in that audience that needs to hear this. That there are times when Bruce's music, speaks to us, but as we're recording this, it's in August, and on Saturday night, Sarah Hickman was playing at Port David's Pub, and it was the first live show I'd gone to since the pandemic. And hearing her sing live music, and Colin Boyd, which is another singer-songwriter from Dallas, opening for her, it truly felt like the tonic my soul needed, like that alloy cream, like when you've got the sunburn and you put that on and it's like, oh, heal. So nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
Thank you. Yeah, my band, Radio Publica, we had our first show back, in almost 2 years. And this was a couple of weeks ago on July 21st, I believe. And we had our first rehearsal in 2 years, 2 nights before. And I had a meltdown, like just a nervous meltdown afterwards, because I thought I specifically sounded terrible. I just scratched my throat up. I was having trouble playing the guitar and singing the songs at the same time and trying to kind of provide a lead, because I'm more of like a rhythm lead player. And so it's just like, oh man, we actually have not done this in a while, and it shows. And the other guys were great. But once we got up there and we did the show, just all bets were off. It felt so great to rip the Band-Aid off and just be out there performing, singing it, and just, I don't know, there's something powerful about being in a room where live music is happening. Lots of times when I go out, I don't care if it's something that other people would consider bad. There is something about an experience of being there with it, giving that person your energy, getting it back. And then there are surprises that happen with it. I think of a Springsteen concert I went to. What part of the beauty is that you never know what he's going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can still go and hear songs that either you skipped over before or you'd never heard. And I always think I'd probably skipped over the song Long Time Coming, for a long time.
Yeah.
Better word. And he came out and he played that at a show in Anaheim, and because it was so different from everything else that was going on and I wasn't familiar with it, that's when something stands out. That's when something just smacks you right in the face, and you get it at a time where you were meant to receive it.
Yeah. One of those lines, and that Sarah Hickman did not write the song "We Are Each Other's Angels," but she covered it, and there is a line where it says, "We are each other's angels, and we meet when it is time." And there is that, that song. Like, for example, Independence Day was not a song I felt passionate about anyway at all, right? I just, it was a perfectly fine song, And then when he did the River tour, this latest time where he was doing the River in its entirety, and it just all of a sudden hit me that at 68, 69, whatever he was during that time, he was probably older than his father was when he originally wrote the song. And so now then he's actually singing this, could be from the father's perspective. When he wrote it, it was from the son's perspective or the child's perspective. And this song it hit me. And now then I would put that on my list, of songs that just mean a lot to me. That just the idea of two people loving each other immensely, but just don't know how to say it. So I think that's very well said, that just sometimes the song finds you where you're at the time, and there is magic.
Yeah. If I can, I want to throw something in about
Please.
his relationship with his father, because there are two things that I just remember most from the book that I just thought were great stories. And one of these includes in the Broadway show at times, I know, but it's the story of his father driving down to have a conversation with him right before his first child's going to be born, right. And Bruce just kind of getting what maybe he just needed to hear from his dad. I think it's so beautiful, and it makes me tear up when I hear it on the Broadway recording. And then just another story about his dad that everyone just always glosses over, but there's a chapter in the book that kind of ends with Bruce just casually saying that he accidentally gave his dad crabs on a trip to Mexico. And nobody ever brings that up or wants to talk about that.
Yeah, like, what? Wait a minute. What's the rest of this story, Bruce? Absolutely, yes. My son likes not the crab part of it, but the story that his dad wanting to pay for everything. That this is on me, son. And even though Bruce had the financial success, the dad wanting to say, no, I want to be the father. So that's nice. You got another one for us?
Okay, great. I'll do one more. I feel like I'd be dumb not to direct people to a place where they can actually buy a song. That
Absolutely.
Is out there or
yes, that is probably smart.
So if you either follow me on Instagram, Levi P at LP and the RP for Levi Petree and the Radio Publica, or if you go to Bandcamp and look at Levi Petree or the Radio Publica, we have a song. Everything is up there, but newer stuff that we released back in December. We're going to do another official push later on, but we did an early release of a couple of recordings we did during the pandemic. And one of them is a song that was inspired by the Gallagher brothers from Oasis, the ever bickering, fighting, feuding Gallagher brothers. And it's called The Brothers Rock and Roll. And I watched a documentary about them as I was traveling from Glasgow, Scotland to Manchester, UK. I was a big fan of the whole Manchester music scene with the Smiths, Joy Division, Stone Roses, New Order, Oasis. And this documentary called Supersonic just reignites the saying, rock and roll will save your soul. It's such an inspiring documentary. It's about the first 3 years that they were a group and just how massive they were in the UK and all of Europe. So this is called The Brothers Rock and Roll. You can get it. You can buy it on Bandcamp. It will be streaming soon on Spotify under Radio Publica, probably. It'll be the first official release under the band name. Everything else since then has been under my name, Levi Petree. So trying to give the band a push as well.
Good. So let's hear it.
All right.
Don't you know where you come from? You can leave it all behind. There's enough for the two of us, but I'd still give you mine. Count all the things that we've been through. Soon you're out of room. I know that you whisper lies when you're speaking your truth. You live on a place I can never touch. Doesn't mean there's no middle ground. You never were the one who could lift me up. Doesn't mean you let me down. All our heroes on your wall, you know how I feel. There are words we don't have to say, it's still there. I know that it's real. I can never touch. Doesn't mean there's no middle ground. You never were the one who could lift me up. It doesn't mean you let me down. I've not seen you for some time. Mother says you're well. As for me, well, I'm doing fine. I guess there's nothing much to tell. I'll be round on Christmas Day. Don't expect a gift, but I'll bring those old guitars and I'll show you a couple of riffs. Woo!
Very nice.
Thank you.
Another
For
great
all
song.
skating bandmates out there.
Yeah. You did a great job of picking 3 different styles to share with the audience. And so well done, sir. Yeah, I like that one a lot. And it's definitely different than the other 2. You could tell, kind of designed for your band, right?
Yes, it's a rock song. Like there are guitar solos in there, big drums, big chorus. So yeah, if people hear this, it'll be very different when they. I mean, for
Yes.
the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. I appreciate it. And so going into the studio tomorrow to record, huh?
Yeah. I've hired a couple of my friends to come in and add some add some other instruments. But the guy who drums in my band, one of my best friends, Chad, he's also a great producer and engineer, and we've worked at this studio for a long time, so we have recording space. But I'm nervous. I think the feel I'm going for is Nirvana unplugged, maybe,
Okay.
but also just a kind of an easier singer songwriter type avenue to just kind of let those songs have their day too.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous. I just spent the whole day trying to. I was afraid there were some songs that I won't be able to play and sing at the same time and have them sound good vocally. And I spent a long part of the day laying the guitar track down, only to realize like I hate this. Doesn't sound good. We're just gonna do it live, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It'll just be some magic that happens. Hopefully.
So it sounds like you're trying to stretch some different creative muscles.
I am, yeah. I get told a lot that though the rock and roll stuff is my passion,
Yeah.
that people are always saying your voice is better for these acoustic kind of lower things, and I just have a lot of songs that are never going to see the light of day unless I try something different.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I want to give it a push. Want to see what happens with it, and never stop trying.
Yeah, absolutely. If people want to sample your stuff and to buy your stuff, because you are a starving artist,
Yeah.
how can they?
On Spotify, it's Levi Petree. You can buy it the same place off of iTunes, or you can go to Bandcamp. I believe it's lpandtherp.bandcamp.com.
If you'll send me the link, I'll include it.
Yeah, you're like that's enough info.
No. I'm just saying, I want to make sure you send me a link. I can post it.
You got it.
Yeah, very nice. Very good. So you mentioned you might want to do a Bruce cover. Did you work on one?
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure. Would love to.
Don't want to put you on the spot, my friend.
No problem. I don't have the harmonica with me, but okay. I'll just do it anyway. And this is my favorite Bruce Springsteen song, and it's actually one like we were talking about earlier. It just hit me when it was supposed to, and it's This Hard Land.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, there's my harmonica. There. Hey there, mister, can you tell me what happened to the seeds I sown? Can you give me a reason, sir, as to why they never grown? They just blown around from town to town till they're back out on these fields where they fall from my hand back into the dirt of this hard land. Me and my sister from Germantown, yeah, we did right. Well, we made our bed, sir, on the rock of the mountainside. We've been blown around from town to town, looking for a place to land where the clouds burst like a circle of fire down on this hard land. Well, even the rain, it don't come round here no more. The only sound at night is the wind slamming that back porch door. It just stirs you up like it wants to blow you down, twisting and churning up the sand, leaving the scarecrows lying face down in the dirt of this hard land. From a building up on the hill, I hear a tape deck blasting home on the range. I can see them barring choppers sweeping low across the plains. It's me and you, Frank. We're looking for lost cattle. Hooves twist and churn up the sand. Ride in the desert, quiet in the whirlwind. On the banks of the Rio Grande, we're riding across that river in the moonlight, up onto the banks of this hard land. Hey Frank, won't you pack your bags and meet me tonight at Liberty Hall? Yeah, just one kiss from you, my brother, and we'll ride until we fall. We'll sleep in the fields, we'll sleep by the rivers. In the morning we'll make a plan. Well, if you can make it, stay hard, stay hungry, stay alive if you can. Meet me in a dream of this hard land.
Well,
Levi, this is just a joy. And there are many blessings that this podcast has given me and Bruce Springsteen's music has given me, but meeting people like you and developing a friendship over line is definitely one of the best blessings about this podcast and about this fandom.
Well, you know, Jesse, it's a weird thing. You feel like you develop friendships with people that you listen to, like over the airwaves. But yeah, I feel like I've gotten to know you and your story, and so I feel very honored that you've had me on the show, that you asked me here tonight. But honored to feel like a friend and a sense of kinship with you, and I'm so happy and relieved for your health right now, that you're feeling great, looking great. So I'm just happy that we know you and that we share this, and that you're doing well.
Well, thank you, my friend. And when you guys are ready to release the album, whether it's the band album or your singer-songwriter album, either one, you got to come back on and promote it. Okay?
Oh, I will.
All right.
I will do everything I can to make a difference. No.
That is good. That is good. All right. Once again, one more time, tell people how they can find your music.
LP and the RP on Instagram is the easiest way, and I'll send you to all the places.
All right. Sounds good. Listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to this marathon. We hope you enjoyed this kind of very unique but special episode of Set Lusting Bruce. Normally it's just a conversation, but Levi was nice enough to bring his guitar. And I feel like we're in kind of this virtual living room, where we're just kind of enjoying music together. And that's a great thing.
Yes.
So, all right, go get vaccinated, everyone. Go take care of yourselves. Wear your mask. Let's all be good to each other, because that's how we're going to get through this marathon. And we will talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Jesse, my great internet friend, on behalf of Mr. Ian Braisby, Mr. Terry Smith, myself, and all of the Set Lusting Bruce community, we want to wish you well in your recovery and let you know we're right behind you. And this is a little something special just for you. When you need a lift for the times you're going through, there's people around the world who only met because of you. Sending back the spirit and the faith that you've shown. The road you walk is hard, but you don't walk it alone. From the outskirts of Dallas to the greater UK, Minnesota, Los Angeles, we all know your name. Blood burns together, same hungry heart. Wherever you go, Jess, we're never far. 'Cause we made a promise, swore we'd always remember. No retreat, baby, no surrender. Like soldiers in a winter's night when they vow to defend. No retreat, baby, no surrender. No retreat, baby, no surrender. Hey, hey, fuck! No retreat, no surrender. We're with you on your recovery. Be good, my man.